front of all of you beautiful people to share our music with you from across the ocean. It's so gratifying to us to see you all come out and supporting local music like this. We need to take lessons, I think. But thank you very much for hosting us, and thank you to the wonderful Limpet Band for their So we opened our concert with a movement from actually a 5-movement symphonic work, Symphony No. 1 by Johann de Meij, which he wrote way back in 1988. I shouldn't say way back, it's not that long, right? But it was a 5-movement work that the music was inspired by the stories of the Lord of the Rings series. It actually predates the famous film series that came out a couple of decades later by Peter Jackson. So this is not film music from those movies. This is music that's before that time. It's all melodies and movements that were inspired by the characters and the situations. This movement is the first movement of the 5. It's called Gandalf, and it's both heroic and mysterious because Gandalf is wise and Gandalf has magic. And so we get a little bit of that in this movement. We also hear the music for his powerful horse, Shadowfax. You can hear that galloping music in the middle, and it's very exciting and adventurous. So that's the Gandalf movement from the Symphony from the Lord of the Rings. So we are, as you've heard, Milwaukee Festival Brass, which is an unusual name for a brass band. Our city, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, is also known as the Festival City because in the summertime we host an endless number of summer festivals. We're located right on the shores of Lake Michigan. We're a port city. So if you look at a map of the United States, you see those 5 giant lakes, the Great Lakes right in the center in the northern part that share our border with Canada. We're right on the shores of Lake Michigan. We were originally a land that was inhabited by native peoples, the Potawatomi. When European settlers came in, it was people from a variety of different ancestries, but a large number of German folks settled in Milwaukee. That is why Milwaukee, you'll be excited to know, having all visited the bar, is the brewing capital of America. So we're also, our state, Wisconsin, is one of the most important dairy regions in the United States. So we produce a huge amount of the nation's milk, cream, butter, and cheese. We're affectionately known in some circles as cheeseheads because of our affinity for cheese in Wisconsin. So that's a little bit about where we come from. Milwaukee Festival Brass is one of the longest continuous brass bands right now in existence in North America. So if you go back about 150 years, just like here, every small town in America had a brass band. But after the time of our Civil War, which was 1860s, then we started having other band leaders like John Philip Sousa, who thought, hey, let's add woodwinds to the band. And let's take So we almost lost our brass banding tradition if it were not for the Salvation Army, which kept it going all of the years in between. But other than that, brass banding mostly died out in the United States until in the 1980s, early 1980s, a music professor from North Carolina decided to spend a research project coming over here to England to find out about brass banding and all of those traditions and wonderful music. And he came back to America and he said, we have to have brass bands here. And he single-handedly started the North American Brass Band Association, which today boasts a membership of over 150 bands, which doesn't sound like a lot, or when you consider the vastness of our country. Brass banding is actually exploding in back home. New bands are being formed every single year. Youth bands are starting so we can introduce young people to the glories of this wonderful music, which is not our tradition, but which we proudly carry on in your name back where we come from. So I want you to know that the tradition of brass banding is alive and very, very well where we come from. Our band was founded in the mid-1980s, just shortly after that North American Association was founded, and we've been in existence ever since. I've been with the band since 2011, and so we're just having a fantastic time. us, it's a lifelong goal for brass banders in North America to come here for the Whit Friday marches. If you can believe it, we left home on Wednesday evening, landed here Thursday. We went down to Sandbach and had a clinic rehearsal with the conductor of the Fodens band. You might have heard of them. They're kind of and then yesterday we spent all day doing the Whit Friday marches, which was such terrific fun. We got to four towns. We did Lees, Groton, Lydgate, and Diggle. And then we ran out of time, unfortunately. But we just had a fantastic experience. And now here we are today, sharing this concert with all of you. And then tomorrow, most of us are going home, if you can believe it. Yeah, so it's a really quick trip. But this was how we could make it work. And we're excited for every minute we get to spend here. So I'd like to, we're going to share with you now a march. This is an American march. So around the time that